Imperial Guardian here. Today we're playing the Soviet Union, and we're going over how to get ready for the German invasion, the German betrayal, the breaking of the Ribbentrop Pact. So, first we're going to start off with the research equipment. We're just going to go ahead and grab basic support equipment. We're going to jump over, grab the pt1, and then we're going to jump over to basic machine tools. Then we're going to go into construction. We're going to build mills right off the rip, so we're just going to pretty much build all around Moscow mills, and then we're going to build some civilians after that. Now, mind you, it is preferred to build in anything with a 70% or higher infrastructure, but Moscow, like pretty much anywhere in the Soviet Union at this time, the infrastructure was not there whatsoever. It was very poorly made, like upkept at the time. So we're going to drop down the tanks to 1, motorized to 1. We're going to get rid of the strategic bombers. We don't need that. We're going to max out the fighters, pull it to the top as main priority. We're going to grab additional towed anti-air. My apologies. The only one towed anti-air. Drop 2 on that. Don't worry about that. Then we're going to drop the rest on infantry equipment. Then we're going to jump over and go ahead and adjust our importing to cover the rubber for the planes. The national focus, we're going to start the Stalin Constitution. After we do the Stalin Constitution, jump to the 5-year, get the extra armament effort, then collective, and then rush down to workers' cult, and then jump over. By that time, just hop on over to the Great Purge. So we're going to go ahead and grab the army, throw it together. We're going to go split them up into its own like army groups. Actually, the thing is, you could just, hit this little button right here, consolidate, that no one ever hits. But for the Soviet Union, there's plenty of tanks and everything else. So you might as well just hit that good old button. The NKVD soldiers, you could just, those templates, just disband them. They're not really needed. And there is, if I could, can't seem to make it work. Hold on, I'm looking for that motorized. This motorized, don't really need it, just get rid of it. It's just unnecessary. And then we're gonna jump over. We're gonna hit divide in half. Actually, let's divide half again. My mathematics is not on par today. Alright, so you have an army group of 4. 5 generals. Just pretty much doing this, just assign them. You're going against Poland right off the rip, so like it really does not matter what order you start just grabbing them in. The purge will happen, you will lose generals, but in the beginning you are pretty much getting ready for the Germans to attack. So you're taking this time. You're gonna be wasting experience on these generals while you could use them on someone else. I understand that, and you could sit there and pick the generals that you prefer. That way you could get the most out of it. Now next we're gonna go ahead and go grab the Air Force. And then two air wings over here. drop them down in Moscow. And then there's a naval bomber right here. You could just send him back up to Leningrad. You don't need naval bomber. Select all your air wings. Split in half the bombers. Just grab all of the airplanes. I would suggest the first two. Click on air superiority. The other three, just air intercepts, and that way they're not using as much fuel. Mind you, as a Soviet Union, you don't have to worry about fuel whatsoever. Like that's not a thing. But out of force of habit, just better to have it like that. And then I normally pick one army group that's usually in the center of to put them on. And then the rest of these is strategic bombers. Don't really need them right now. That's more going to be later in late game. We're going to need a total of 50 pp to justify the war goals, so we're just going to wait off on that. So pretty much the goal is you're going to take out Poland and you're going to puppet the Ukraine. I know that sounds bizarre, but it's a good idea, because if you puppet the Ukraine, and you'll see later that once you puppet the entire south all the way up into the German territory here, except for Danzig, if you puppet all that to Ukraine, yes, you're going to have to press the pass button a lot to get enough war score to do that, but it's gonna pay out, because when Germany does Danzig and you do not want to accept don't want to be nice to Germany whatsoever, that's when you want to go and get the pt1 now, because when you decline them of the Ribbentrop Pact, it's gonna give you a negative modifier of 75% for armor research for 365 days. So long as you're up to date on your tanks, mind you, which is right here, you're not going to need none until 1939, and you break this pact in 1937. So by 1938 you'll be able to research already normal modifiers and everything, the T-32. So it doesn't even matter. Let's go ahead and justify on Poland real quick. It's going to 250 days, which will end in November 8th. Our men are still moving across. Mind you, we're going to be pretty green on everything except for infantry equipment. Well, it's still lacking a little artillery, but that's no problem. It's going to balance out, because we have 250 days. We only 46 days until we balance back out, so we're set. And then with our other factories pumping out, they're going to be going towards the infantry equipment. Let's jump over to the 4-year plan. Get those extra factories real quick. And then the Bosporus, I just really don't care about the Bosporus, so they could take it. My first thing I do with my political power, I immediately jump to war economy, just to give me the extra factories. But I usually go for war economy, that way I get the consumer goods, the construction speed, so it helps. Right now we're working with almost 45 factories. Well, 41 factories of making military factories, and then once it gets down here, I do recommend though to build up some infrastructure along the way. Just, you don't have to build a lot, just up to I would recommend 70 minimum, all the way up until you hit your front line. from Moscow. That way it just helps your supply. And then if you want to, you could break it down here. That way it brings it down to this lower portion down here. And then what you could do is to just, that way it builds over time, just throw them up here, do like every one factory building civilians, 2 building infrastructure. Oh, well, if I could grab it. Okay. And then right now with the war economy, our boost to military factories is going to help us a lot. And then also, if you want to build a spy agency, you could always throw down 1 civilian factory in the beginning, to that way whenever you do finish the 5-year plan, that gives you 5 factories right off the rip. Within 140 days you can start your spy agency, and it's basically, you don't even count those factories added on, and you still be around 40 factories producing other factories and still stay afloat. That way you still get the maximum factory production that possible. Right now we have 34 military factories, 6 naval dockyards, and 57 civilian factories. Mind you, we are still using 2 to import rubber, so that's another thing you could look at. Like, I mean, I usually focus on planes because you're fighting good old Hitler, so you're gonna need the planes. That's and the anti-air. That's a given, because they just focus on, they pump out so much air, and their planes are honestly better quality. Like, it's one of those things, you don't have to go for air. You could go for more like a tank focused and just try to punch through them quickly. But like I said, you're gonna want to kind of let them burn out their equipment, make them waste their resources while just sitting down and just watching them. Let's go ahead and look at templates. I really don't use these ones. Yes, the MP does help with everything, but when you're fighting like weapons wise, you really don't need a 12 combat with the MP. It's not necessary. I'd rather put those guns towards our main infantry division, which, yes, it's not the greatest, but we could work with it. It's something that we could either push them or hold the line with. Yes, later we'll probably throw on an additional 7.2 with support equipment. The first things I like to do with my anti-air, I like adding them to my Mountaineers. I like slapping them on there because as a Soviet Union, you start with a lot of Mountaineers. You could spread them out with your other division generals, and that way you have other diversile units with anti-air with your Air Force. So I'm going to go and go do construction and then also grab research. That way we can go and get down to the reinforce rate from the radios, which is helpful. And then I'm probably going to do a 2-part on this this playthrough. I'm going to do this little, as you call it, like preparing for Germany invasion all the way up until like mid 1937, and then I'm gonna probably make a follow-up episode going from 1937 and into taking out the Germany. I'll probably post that either later this week or beginning of next week. the Soviet Union's Navy is pretty much garbage, but you could probably get rid of anything that's getting done 1940-ish, and that way you'll focus on the other ships, and then later roll over to making bathtubs. Which bathtubs is, if you don't know what that is, it's basically a very low tier submarine. It's just a submarine which pretty much this. It's a torpedo and an engine. That's it. And they are very easy and cheap to produce. They're only 440 production cost. Super cheap. You can pump those out with a lot. Which might as well throw one of those on there. Which, I mean, I guess I could just turn these into Infinity 1, but it's fine like that. Probably back off probably some of these factories. Yeah, that way we go and get into civilian and infrastructure. So this is my first video making with the camera on it, so hopefully it turns out good. I did get a new microphone. It's a PNP blue microphone. Did just get that in. I ordered a new PC and monitors coming in tomorrow with the new desk and everything. It should be set up by next week. Getting my whole setup pretty much done up. I do stream on Twitch. I will leave my Twitch name in the link below. I do stream other games. I stream Infected, Phasmophobia. I do stream Hearts of Iron 4. Usually once a week. Every day I try to switch it up, or every few days I switch up to a different game. I do stream on those. I will leave a schedule on my Twitch account. If you go over there, you can see it. If you guys do have any like recommendations, please leave a comment below or message me, and I will definitely look into trying it out. Breaks. Now, with the 150 pp that moderation you could do here, I like to add the maneuverability expert, which is the army maneuver. It adds division speed. I prefer that because with going against Poland and Germany, they're gonna have really fast tanks already, so I like just adding a little division speed, just to that way I could reinforce, like I can move troops around the front easier. Mind you, after collectivist propaganda, we're going to go down to militarized schools, and then mainly we're going for the workers culture. That's what we're going for. Once you get there, just go straight for a Great Purge. You should be, like, a good timestamp is to make sure you have Poland completely surrendered before workers culture at the latest. Like, you don't want to be fighting too long, because you want to have them done. That way you are able to stockpile and prepare for Germany. And then, mind you, it does take 210 days. Yeah, 210 days for this alone. So, and then you still have to wait the entire time of the officer's purge to go away, which is 583 days. So yeah, it does go away after they declare war on you, or a certain point, which I believe, I don't remember exactly what date. Alright, now we have some more good old PP, so we're gonna go down to, and we're gonna, you could pick completely preference. Last time I went with concealment. That way, whenever I go against Germany, it gives me an extra nice little like buffer to the air superiority. Let's check our production real quick. Yeah, we did. I totally forgot to change this 10 count yet. So yeah, make sure whenever your BT7 is done researching, go ahead and slap it in. That way you're building up some tanks. And then if you want to, you can slap on some additional factories on it, and then come up and then take some off the like equipment, the like so. That way it does start building up, refreshing the new ones into the circulation. We are almost fully upgraded Air Force. That's good. That's gonna be fantastic. Now you do get some experience, air experience and army experience from fighting this. It's good to upgrade your planes, and then you can, with your army experience, depending on how much you get, you can swap on your doctrines to superior firepower if you decide to, or you can stick with mass assault. It's completely preference. Alright, justification is done. So let's show this good old country of Poland what Poppy Stalin can do. You know what? I did realize I did put majority of them on down there. So let's just shift some of them over. I thought I clicked more of a centralized group. Just trying to get to like the initial wave is gonna be the hardest part, because they are entrenched on your border, and right now you don't have, like, you have all the equipment you need. You just gotta break the entrenchment and the organizers. So once you break that, it's smooth sailing. Like, I don't know why he just left that tile. Makes no sense. You take the tile, then you just back out of it. What are you talking about? What are you doing, guy? Like this guy, what are you going? Like, why are you trying, like, let's worry about order 227, guys. Come on. Not a single step back. Just keep going. One of y'all attack in so you don't reinforce. Come on. You gotta love micromanagement. It's the best. Like, look, you just made a pocket. Just spread out. The radio's done. Let's go ahead and jump on radio detection. Let's check the supply area. Our supply is all good, so alright, that's done. Let's do workers culture. For some reason I keep wanting to call it workers cult. Don't know why. Alright, pocket in the north is collapsed. We're about to get a pocket in the center. Hopefully. Most likely not. It's going to close and like push slowly fall back. We might get some overruns. do, you know what? I forgot to assign a aggressive assaulter. I totally forgot to do that. And then your organization, totally forgot to do that too. That's my bad, guys. Totally forgot to do that. It slipped my mind. It was one of my earlier, like the other playthroughs, I was breaking through the lines like crazy. Like I was just steamrolling them. This one I was slacking. That explains it. I bet I went, yeah, look, I just went through a shit ton of my light tanks. We do have a very tiny pocket right there. Just keep spreading out. Let's go to Warsaw. Yeah, right now we've probably lost a lot of casualties. Let's see, look, yeah, we've lost 58,000 and they've lost 181,000. Let's go Danzig. Rest of victory points. Good old fall of Warsaw. Whipping that ass. Go ahead and grab that victory point, grab that one. And then you, good sir, go to... And then that's going to be the end of it. As soon as they take those victory points. One more, good sir. Does that mean they're already, yeah, they're over halfway. So we take that one, and then he takes that one. Come on, who's gonna get that fit? Okay, Danzig got the fit. Alright, so then it should be done. Just wait until midnight. Yes, alright. So they surrendered, they capitulated. Alright, so easiest way to do this is puppet the Ukraine. Intern. Now just take all this territory for yourself. Alright, now you're gonna want to build up a lot of war score. About 4,000. Then click on good old Ukraine and just give it to them. One more. Oh, pass. And you just want to, you know, pass some more. About 2,000. And then take there and there. Now, do not give Ukraine Danzig. And you don't want to take Danzig. You want to puppet them. And then, after all said and done, Dremel. It should look like this. Now you can give them more, all the way up in all of this, and then that way you only have that length of a corridor to handle. You could do that. You don't have to. You could. Now, so what I was talking about is you could literally base your defense off of this. So another good thing is you could literally grab the fallback line, loop it up high, and then just right there, all the way till you get to Riga. Well, it's not going to go there because those countries are taken, but yeah, you're just going to follow this, cut down to Riga, and then you will have the main supply ports in this area under your control, and you just let them swarm in. And you could use the Ukraine, have an army protect yourself, this border and here, and then of course here, pretty much the entire Ukraine border. And then later you could just push and take Danzig, Königsberg, and then Mammel's ports, and starve out the German army. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. This is how you could easily prepare to fight against Germany. This is part 1. I'm gonna have part 2. I'm gonna post it later this week, or maybe beginning of next week. I'll definitely put it out when I'm gonna post it. So thank you for watching. If you have any comments, please let me know. And I know I'm a new content creator. I'm getting into this, and I can't wait for you guys' feedback. Let me know. Like, I know I say a lot. I know I don't do things that well. I am extremely nervous, and I do have like a hint of anxiety doing this, but I'm having fun doing it. So thank you guys for watching, and please leave a like or a dislike if you prefer that, and leave a comment. Thank you guys for watching, and y'all have a fantastic rest of y'all day. Thank you for watching.